Hello, welcome everyone. Happy bright Wednesday. Christ is risen. I'm excited to have today with me Carmen from my parish. And today Carmen, who's from Romania, is going to be teaching us about how to say Christ is risen in Romanian and any traditions from Romania that she wants to share. So welcome, Carmen. Christ is risen.
Truly he's risen.
How are you doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. So first, we want to find out more about where you're from. I know you're from Romania, so we'll pull up a map and you can share with us kind of where in Romania. 1 second while I pull this up. Whoops. I had it ready, but I need to move it a little bit. Okay, so first I'm getting it ready for everyone to see where Romania is in the context of Europe. Okay, so there's Romania, Italy, Greece down here, Turkey, and it has, I love that you guys have a nice coastline on the Black Sea. That's a big vacation area, right?
Yes, it is.
And then you're from, where are you from?
I am from Craiova, which is, you can actually see it, it's towards, yes, down.
There, so
yeah, right, yeah.
West of your capital.
Yes.
And tell us what's it like in Craiova? What's the climate? What's the culture of Craiova?
We have 4 seasons. There are 4 seasons. Summer tends to be really hot, and winters we have snow, not as much as in the mountains, in the Carpathian mountains, not as much as in the north. Craiova, it's part of a region in Romania called Oltenia. So, and we have a certain dialect or a way of, if a Romanian person will hear me speak Romanian, they will know that I'm from that county, because we're using much more common than other parts. We're using a tense in a verb that is very unique. So, and we tend to use that tense in the verb quite a lot.
Okay.
And so that's unique about us. So we get a little bit of teasing about that.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of considered like you have a funny slang for other Romanians.
Yes, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The dialect.
We're using simple perfect quite a lot in our verbs. We tend to use that every time we use a verb, it's very common to use that. So.
Oh, how interesting.
Yes.
It's like a different way of looking at life to always use that tense, maybe.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So there's Romania. And actually, I just want to point out that, on Monday we spoke to Dushka, and she spent a lot of her life in Novi Sad, which, relatively speaking, is not so far from where you're from, even though, of course, it's a completely different country and culture and language. But just thinking about like how big Oregon is, you would probably be in the same state. if
I wanted to say, if you have the map up, if you keep the map up, I want to say how we have Serbia, we have Bulgaria, we have Moldova and Russia. So we're kind of surrounded by Slavic languages, but Romanian is a Latin language.
Yes.
And
very unique.
Yes, and that is because the name Romanian comes from Roman Empire. That's when during Trajan emperor, the Romans came towards Dacia, part of Thrace, and they colonized us. So our language is Latin language, it's a mixture.
Right. So it sounds more like Spanish, Italian, or French than it does like any of the Slavic languages around it.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move over to learning how to say Christ is risen. When I was young, there were Romanians in my parish, so I somehow learned this as a young child, and I love I love the Romanian way of saying Christ is risen. It's so beautiful. So here we are. So first, go ahead and walk us through this. You can say it for us.
Hristos a înviat. It's the is the verb to be.
Okay.
Inviat, if you think of vita, try to think of Italian language, Latin. So vita, Inviat, Adevarat, Unviat. Adevarat is truly, and if you think in Italian, davvero, like truly, that it's like Adevarat a înviat.
Okay. Hristos a înviat. Adevarat a înviat.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Wow. I think it's pretty easy, actually. It's very musical.
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you say it again for us?
Hristos a înviat, adevărat a înviat.
Okay. Hristos a înviat, adevarat a înviat. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna also go through the music. Actually, if you don't mind, maybe we'll do this now. And maybe you can help me with some of the other words, and then we'll sing it one time, or I'll sing it one time, and then I know the Romanians tend to have like a lot of different musical settings for Christ is Risen, maybe even from different parts of the country. So I want to share with people. So here's our map. And then on the Orthodox Church of America website, they have this really beautiful rendition of Christ is Risen. So can you just say the words for us kind of slowly?
Hristos a înviat din morți, cu moartea premoarte călcând, și celor din mormânturi viață dăruindu-le.
Okay, awesome. I'm just gonna sing it, and I'm gonna work on trying to learn, keep pronouncing it better and better, because I know there's a couple things maybe that you can teach me to do better. But Hristos a înviat din morți, cu moarte premorte călcând, și celor din mormânturi viața dăruindu-le. Something like that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite melodies. I remember growing up, the Christ is Risen, we did the same in English or in Greek, and then Slavonic was a little bit different. But then the Romanians would sing, and it was just a completely different melody. And I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. I really love that one. Is from my childhood, is the one I learned. So thank you. Okay, so what we wanted to ask you next. So how long have you been in the States?
19 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you come for studying, or after you finished your studies, or?
I finished I did some study in Romania, and then after my med school residency, and I came here for graduate school, and finished graduate school here in US and moved to Oregon.
Wow. How long have you been in Oregon? 12 years. Okay.
12 years. Yes.
Yeah. And can you tell us, you don't have to tell us like specifically where you work or anything, but like what's your general work that you do?
I work as a scientist in medical field, developing programs, health programs.
Okay. So is it more like research or more about kind of like working with patients? Or or neither?
It's both, and one of the programs I'm working with is more research, like the cancer research, and the other one is it's sort of new. We're looking into increasing a music therapy program in the Portland area. So
Wow.
I'm working towards developing that as a program, but also as a research for that.
Cool. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad you're in Portland. I'm so glad you're part of our parish. It's really beautiful to have you. You bring a lot to our community. So tell us a little bit about any traditions from Romania that you especially remember growing up around Pascha. Like, is there anything that your family would do or your town would do around that time?
One of the tradition that is very dear to me, and I love that growing up is so the meat fair Sunday weekend and the Pascha weekend. Pascha celebrations last 3 days. So those two weekends were unique in the fact that godchildren or godparents, they will visit each other. And in my family, the tradition was the meat fair weekend. We had the godchildren and their families coming over to us. And for Pascha, we go to our godparents to visit and stay together. That was special for me very much. I treasure that. And we, of course, we will see other family members, but that was something special that we prepared with food or gifts for those two visits.
Wow. So would you go and actually like spend the night there and stay for 2 days, or you just go for the whole day?
It was a whole day.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll travel. We had godchildren that were in the same region. So that was, they will come for the whole day and stay, and then they will leave. Sometimes they will stay overnight, and that was fun too.
Yeah.
And then for Pascha, we would, in the morning, late morning, was at my father's, and he was from a different county, so we go there, spend Pascha there, and then the Pascha day we go to godparents, which were in that region.
Oh, perfect. So kind of like Nicholas was saying yesterday that his family lived in the city, but they had the country home. Like you would go to kind of, you would go out to the, not maybe the country, but outside the city for Pascha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And another tradition that I treasure it a lot is, and I'm not sure if this is unique to Romanians, but after Pascha service, we would get Paști, which is Pascha. So it's from Prospera. The priest, it's cut in small pieces and it's blessed, and I believe that's done on Saturday. If I hope I'm not wrong. So, and then it's packaged in cups or in small, containers or bags, and it's distributed to people. And we take those, and for the next up until Saturday, we'll have a piece in the morning, early morning after holy water, a piece of Pascha. So it's like blessed and dinderon that we will have every morning. And I read somewhere that that's something similar that in the monastics do with artoclasia, they do that. But for us, that's what we do. And this tradition is still ongoing. Like I learned that even during this stay in place order in Romanian, actually in my part of the country, when I spoke with relatives, it sounds that a priest and the volunteers were from whatever the county or the state representatives, we together with the priest, they distributed the light and the Pascha to each one of the people so they can take it for this week.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, I know the tradition of like drying out Antidron. And you can, from any Sunday, like if you took one piece home and you dry it up and then you take a piece each morning with your holy water. But I would like to learn more about, you know, if they do it from Arteklasia. And I hadn't heard this. That's a really nice way to celebrate Bright Week every day. That's beautiful.
Yeah. We have the Antidron that we do that, we dry and we take it, but the Pascha one, I think it's a different prayer, additional prayers that the priest will bless those. And
is it a different kind of bread a little bit, or it's just similar bread?
I think it's from Prospera.
Okay, so similar, but it's a special blessing from Pascha. It's, yeah, no, that's really neat. I love that.
Yeah.
And it's also such a way, I think it's really important to celebrate Bright Week and like really enjoy each day of Bright Week, right? You know, and so that's a nice thing to do that with. And then coming to the States, what things have you been able to keep from your, you know, Romanian culture, or what's part of your Pascha traditions now over the last, you know, 12 to 19 years here?
Cooking some special food or extra food and dyeing the eggs, but I still like right now, although I don't have the Pascha, or we don't have that here, when I take the Antidron, my mind still goes, I still feels like, excuse me, it feels like, oh, that's Pascha. I still think of Antidron like, that's Pascha for the next week. And another tradition that I'm not sure if it's again only specific to Romanian or other, it's found in other places. We, you know, color the eggs, we dye the eggs, and but we also do that at Ascension. During the Ascension Day, we color eggs, and instead of saying, and we crack them, and instead of saying Christ is risen, truly he is risen, we say Christ ascended, truly he ascended.
Really?
So I do that. I color eggs on that day.
Do you also color them red?
I color them in red, and only a few just for that day, because afterwards no more red eggs. So
wow, I've never heard of that. That is brand new tradition for me. That's really neat. So you color the eggs again. Because I've been thinking, you know, the things that you bake, like I baked surekia this year, and I was laughing because every time that I bake it, I forget some lesson that I learned the time before because it's been so long. And I was thinking it would be good when we do these annual traditions that we do them a few times so that like we really learn all of the lessons to how to do it really well. So I like that you dye the eggs at Pascha and also again at Ascension, so you can start to memorize it, internalize it, instead of every year you're trying to remember.
Yes.
Yeah. And do you also do it with onion skins?
I do onion skins or the dye.
Yeah. Okay. Either one. Yeah.
So, either one. Yeah.
And did you, when you greet your family in Romania, what are they doing? Like, how's their Pascha this year? Have you talked to them?
Well, the cooking is still there, and there is a lot of people meeting. They still meet by phone, so they're really busy. Their phone lines are always busy. It was hard for me to, to get in touch with them because they're on the phone talking with each other. So
nice. And what are some of the foods that you make that you only make at Pascha or that you look forward to breaking the fast with?
I think in the Serbian tradition, they mentioned this. We have the cabbage rolls and the sweet bread that is filled with walnuts. We have pecans in my part of the country. So that's similar with Serbian tradition. Pastries. cheese pastries, and we have Pascha. We call Pascha bread, which is a cheese bread. I'm not sure if in other places they have it's a sweet bread that it's filled with ricotta cheese,
Oh, yum.
raisins, and yeah.
That's neat. That's really neat. It seems like so you have a lot of similar traditions and foods with Serbia, but also like to have the Pascha and the cheese, that's also kind of a Slavic tradition. So you're just right there blending everything in Romania. And the languages too, different.
And we have the baskets too.
Oh, wow.
They can have, yes, yeah.
What is traditional to put in a Pascha basket?
Meat, cheese, sweets, and very eggs.
Eggs, yeah.
Berries, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, baskets were like put down. Everyone would bring baskets on the floor in the church or the tables. Everything was full with baskets.
And do people work really nicely to decorate like a cloth for the top of the basket?
Yes, a cloth and flowers and a really nice basket.
I have an example. This is not embroidered, but it's just a simple Pascha basket cover. So it's stamped, and it says, Christ is risen, he is risen indeed. So this is the example of what they would put over the basket. And then the priest blesses with the holy water, right? And a prayer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, so we're gonna finish up our coffee break, let everybody get back to work or whatever they're doing. But first we have to practice one more time. Oh, actually I want to review. I'm gonna quiz you on the Arabic and the Serbian too, because we have to review all of what we've learned this week. So first of all, from Monday, Dushka taught us, and if you remember, we'll try to say it together. If not, Hristos vaskrese.
Hristos vaskrese.
And then the response would be, oh my goodness, Vaistino vaskrese. Okay, Hristos vaskrese, Vaistino vaskrese. Okay, so I probably need to work on that more. We'll work on that more. So let's do, I'll say it and then you can respond. Almasiham. Do you remember from Nicholas?
Hakam.
Yeah, Almasiham.
Hakam come?
Yeah, good. All right, we're halfway there. Okay, and then Hristos Inviat.
Adevarat Inviat.
Okay, perfect. All right, we'll make sure to quiz tomorrow's guest too. And he'll have 3 that he has to say in addition to his own, so it'll be good. So thank you so much for meeting with me, Carmen. This is such a treat, and I love learning about where you're from. And I hope that I hope you go back and get to visit, everybody in person again sometime in the near future.
Thank you for having me and for sharing about letting me share about Romania. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, everyone have a great day. Christ is risen.
Truly his risen. Bye. Thank you.